distributions in Destiny 2. And these numbers are looking kinda daunting. I'm here to help with that. The first thing you're going to want to look at is your recovery. This is probably your number one stat, and I'll tell you why. This determines how fast you're going to get your health back, as it says in the UI. But it also determines how long you have to wait before your health starts coming back. So if you're in a gunfight and you take, a couple shots, and you're sitting at like 50 health, which is near one shot in this game with the 120 meta, you're going to have to wait a really long time if this number is pretty low. So this is your first priority. You want to get this to at least 70. Ideally 90 or 100, but at least 70 minimum. If you have to sacrifice everything else for that, do it. It's worth it. Number 2, this stat is really important in this meta currently just because of 120s. You're going to go for resilience. You need 5. Anything above that is useless. Anything below that, it means you're basically a flimsy piece of paper. You want 5 exactly. Because what 5 is going to let you do is survive a headshot and a body shot and another body shot from a 120 hand cannon. That means that you're going to make your enemy hit more headshots on you. Usually it results in you winning a gunfight or else at least avoiding the trade. Number 3, you want Intellect. Your Intellect determines how fast you get your super, as it says in the UI, but it also determines how unlikely the enemy team is to play long con against you. If you're in Trials or Elim, if the enemy's running high Intellect, that means that they can afford to sit back while they get their supers, and they know they're going to get their supers before you. As supers are very important, this stat matters a lot. Ideally, you want 80 or 90. 100 int is prioritized by some people, but it's not as useful as other stats, so at least you want 80 or 90. This is also one of the stats with diminishing returns, so the more intellect you have, the higher tiers are going to affect you. For example, from tier 8 to 9, you get 9 seconds of super, but from tier 9 to 10, you only get like 4 seconds of super, so it has very diminishing returns, target 8 or 9. Number 4 stat, you're going to look at mobility. For most classes, you want at least 60. For Hunter, I go for 100 so I get my dodge back really fast. That's just personal preference for me. Mobility also determines how fast you strafe. So if you want to be an absolute strafe lord, then you go for 100 as well because it improves your strafe speed. It does not improve your sprint speed. All classes sprint at the same speed unless they have an exotic one that specifically says increases sprint speed. Finally, these two stats, strength and discipline. For me, I don't target these a lot, but some people do. Some people like to have really high discipline so they can throw nades a lot. Strength is just important on a hunter because of your shurikens. In the future they might not be as important, but any remaining stat points after you fill out these totals, throw it in there. That being said, I would probably target discipline over strength, but as you can see I don't because I'm not very lucky with my armor stat distributions. That's about it. See ya.